Manchester United are going to be back in action, finally, this weekend against Brighton after an exhausting international break. And it's going to be a couple of debuts, hopefully home debuts. Rasmus Hojlund and Sofian Amrabat. But in this video, I'm going to focus on Rasmus Hojlund and in particular, his partnership with Bruno Fernandes and why I think it could be the thing that really transforms this Manchester United team. I'm going to run through loads of in-game examples. There's going to be some tactics. There's going to be some stats. There's going to be absolutely everything. If you would, please drop a like in this video. Lots of research goes into these, and I think you do enjoy them. I learned a thing or two from it, so I hope you do too. But let me explain why this partnership is the partnership to get excited about. Now, Bruno Fernandes, look, right? The dude's good. I don't know how many times you got to say he's good, how much you got to speak to other people about how good he is, but Bruno Fernandes is one of the world's best. And I find it strange how much criticism he still gets. Now, during this international break, he's had an enjoyable time. Scored an absolute banger. Was it against Slovakia? Yeah, scored an absolute banger on his birthday as well. Happy birthday to you, Bruno. In that game, the game after against Luxembourg, yes, you might say it's Slovakia and Luxembourg, but Bruno Fernandes has consistently been delivering every level for a long time. A hat-trick of assists and a goal, pretty much a 10 out of 10 performance against Luxembourg. Bruno Fernandes in his last 10 games for Portugal last 10 games for Portugal, 6 goals and 8 assists. Player of the month for Manchester United. Nobody's created more chances than Bruno Fernandes since he came to United in the Premier League. Bruno Fernandes is an absolutely relentless machine. And what I'm going to do now is take a look here at some examples that we can see from the international break, and I can apply those to Hojlund's debut against Arsenal and show you exactly why that partnership, that's where the synergy hopefully is going to be. Now, I'm sure you've seen this on Twitter, right? Bruno Fernandes absolutely taking the piss out here. He's out there outside of the boot cross, all the way in there for his teammate. That didn't really work properly. 1, 2, 3. In there for his teammate. There. We can see what happens here. Let's go to the next screen. Wonderful. Perfect cross. Perfectly weighted. Goal for Portugal. All right. Now, that's not the only time he did that in the game either. We go forward here. Bruno Fernandes in a very similar position. Out here with the ball. And it's just a lovely weight. Just a really nice weight to his cross. Gets it in there. And you know what happens here. Or maybe you don't. Another goal. And that's because, look at the position of the striker here. We don't need that. Let's go for a little bit of a zoom. Look at the position of the striker here. Bruno Fernandes obviously crossing it from over there, but the position of the striker is the all-important aspect of this because that is where Rasmus Hojlund is going to come in. And now, this example here is Manchester United against Leeds. I think it was last season, the season before. A rare header. I think this is when Rashford went through a little period of scoring a couple of headers. He scored an absolute banger at Old Trafford as well. I think it was in back-to-back games. Crossing from Luke Shaw, Marcus Rashford there. But look at his position. This is what I'm trying to get at here. Marcus Rashford in the centre-forward position. Actually, more so than Wout Weghorst. But rarely has the United striker actually been a centre-forward who operates as a centre-forward in a long time. And Bruno Fernandes has still been scoring in the way that he has been scoring and assisting in the way he's been assisting. This is a perfect example from the Arsenal game, taking these into consideration, the position there of that cross and the position there of that cross. And we go back to this one here, and you see the ball comes back, and look at the movement of Rasmus Hojlund in the middle. All right. We go back here. You see where Rasmus Hojlund starts. You can see that his position is behind. I think that's Saliba. Doesn't really matter. But you can see where he's driving into, right? Fast forward a couple of seconds, and you can see that Christian Eriksen down here. Let me go that screen there. Christian Eriksen down here. It's not that he ignores the run, but he just decides that instead of doing this cross, so if that cross there goes in, and Rasmus Hojlund makes that run there, that's a goal scoring opportunity. It takes a moment of real quality to actually deliver that ball, but Eriksen decides, right, okay, I'm going to go for that one over the top there. Or maybe he does try and hit that one to Hojlund and he just overhits it. These sorts of passes, as has been seen there, Bruno Fernandes loves to do them. Bruno Fernandes has the ability to do them. And now that we're going to have a striker that makes those sorts of runs, you're going to see United get so many more goal-scoring opportunities on the back of it. More examples I can show you here. This is when Rashford went to the byline. You can see the movement of Hojlund in the middle there. Let me just highlight him. Hojlund in the middle here. Rashford over there. But Hojlund is ready to make that movement. Another one here. Now, again, Bruno's going to find himself in this position a lot of times. But it's the subtleties of the movement from Hojlund. You can see Hojlund's over here, right? So we can watch him. Rashford's out there on the wing. Hojlund takes a little turn to the right, puts all his weight on his right leg, immediately moves to the left. Now, I've covered this already in my sort of post-match analysis of Hojlund's debut. But now that we can directly sort of compare it to some assists that Bruno Fernandes has got over this international break, we can directly relate both of those into these sorts of runs and moves that Hojlund has done, and why those two, I think, really, really will just provide a ridiculous partnership for Manchester United. And it's not just those situations, right? We go back to the board here. This one in particular is just, this is peak ridiculous Bruno, right? So Bruno Fernandes is here on the ball, right? Bruno's got how many different passing options open to him? Easy ones. 1, 2. Can play it back there. Do a little sub on there. Technically go back there if you really wanted to. Go back there if you really wanted to as well. I mean, the whole pitch is open to him. But Bruno decides to take a slightly different option on. And in this position, this is again where we're going to see something between Bruno and Hojlund. Bruno there, you can't see it because he's actually off the screen. Let me see if I can switch it there. This is the man he spots. Because he can see that man is on the last line of the defender. And if Bruno has the ability to play this ball over the top, I wonder what could happen. We know exactly what could happen. That ball there. Look how beautiful that ball is from Bruno, right? Completely over the top of the defence. Portugal in behind. Portugal get a goal. That's exactly what Hojlund can do with his pace as well. And Bruno has the vision to spot those runs. This is what I mean about this partnership being fruitful. I really am so excited to see what happens. And we go back to the board here and we can see kind of exactly what I was talking about there. Casemiro is the example passer in this situation, but this could easily be Bruno. Casemiro, he is down here, right? And Hojlund is making that run there. Casemiro has the ability and the vision, sees the pass, feeds it in behind. They get an opportunity. And as well as that, right, as well as all of this that I've said about Hojlund in terms of the thing I'm looking forward to the most is positioning in the box. Centre forward, those runs. Actually having somebody who operates inside that 18-yard box. Makes it his home. Ruud van Nistelrooy, I think, scored every single one of his goals, apart from one at United, inside the 18-yard box. He was a predator there. And always having that presence is going to change how Manchester United's attack goes. I called it a focal point in the last video, but it's just more direct examples of Bruno just pulling out absolute worldies. And this now so like that one there and that one there. But if I go back to this example here, 1 second, because I think these sorts of runs will get ignored a little bit less. Bruno's going to be looking for them, and so will Christian Eriksen as well. As much as I'm talking about how Bruno Fernandes and that partnership, that could be absolutely fruitful, let's not forget here, by the way, Christian Eriksen bagging 2 assists and a goal for Denmark in the international break as well. He will really enjoy those runs. So next time that Hojlund's in a run like this, maybe Christian Eriksen won't be ignoring it. He'll be looking for it. Remember, this is his debut anyway, so you're going to have to get used to how the players are playing together. But once it gels, trust me, I'm so excited for this. This is something that this United team has needed for so long. And then, as I said, even on top of that, it can be nice little interlinking play. That little touch off to Casemiro, that could be Bruno in this situation. Touch, turn and run. Hojlund really is going to add so much to the shape of this Manchester United attack, let alone just being that actual centre forward, that focal point that can hold up a defender and bring others into play. You can see simply by doing that, the amount of options that Hojlund actually gives himself on the ball there. All of a sudden, he's got 1, 2, 3 players he's immediately bringing into play simply by holding the ball up. Now, I covered that in a previous video, all that sort of taking a look at Hojlund's actual debut. Now, Hojlund himself, he's looking forward to playing United shirt. Of course he is. He thought he made a decent contribution against Arsenal. And I thought he made a decent contribution against Arsenal. But I think of all the of all the positives that I can think of with Hojlund and what he's going to bring to this team, it feels like Bruno Fernandes is going to be the player that benefits the most. And the mad thing about all of this is he's just one player of the month without all of this. Nobody's created more chance in the Premier League than Bruno Fernandes. Honestly, Bruno Fernandes is my recommendation for getting in your fantasy Premier League team. I think he is going to love having Rasmus Hojlund in. Somebody that he always knows. Like when I think Scholes used to speak about Van Nistelrooy. It's like he didn't have to look. He didn't have to look up. He could just do blind. You know those blind. Jake on the podcast called this actually. Those blind passes around the corner. Pogba used to do them quite a lot of the time. He doesn't have to look at whether his attacker's there. He just knows that if he whips a ball into a certain area, there's going to be a striker there to attack it. That was when Rashford and Martial and Greenwood, I think, scored 70 goals that season. Was that there? I think Pogba was still there. But Bruno, I think, is going to shine. I think that partnership there, that's going to be the focal point of our attack going forward. Bruno always looking up and always looking for Hojlund. And Hojlund invariably being in the right position at the right time. Whether it is from, as I said, whether it's from crosses, whether it's from runs into the box and those sorts of crosses there, whether it's just overall body movement and body shape. I'm so excited to see how that takes this United team towards a better overall cohesive attacking unit, which we need, right? I think that was a decent video. If you enjoyed it, look, it's been a struggle this last, week or so. A long old international break and a heavy international break. Football's back on Saturday. Hopefully Hojlund's full Manchester United debut. Hopefully Amrabat's too. And hopefully these two absolutely kick it off together. You let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe if you're new.